I said I didn't want a bed in the room. So many of them were girl dads. Probably chocolate is my favorite thing in the world. For years, you're like a mom and a grandmother now, and it's kind of hard to describe yourself. I'm fit, I'm healthy, and I have a zest for life. I love being with my family. I love being with my grandkids, but I'm also ready to have a life, with a partner and, have the life that I imagined that I was going to have with John before he passed away. A life with a future of travel, and, there's still a lot of energy and a lot of fun left to be had. Probably chocolate is my favorite thing in the world, so I can't say that I'm super healthy, but I exercise, not a ton. I walk my dog. I run around with my grandkids. All that stuff keeps you young and happy, honestly, and really just to get a decent workout. I do YouTube videos in my basement, honestly. I do arm workouts and abs and things like that, but nothing if I work out 30 minutes a day, that's a lot. And I naturally like kind of salads and stuff, but I also love a good burger and french fries. So I kind of everything in moderation, I think. Partly is perfect. It was just like a blip on the radar screen, honestly. A lot of hormones and a lot of emotions and lack of sleep and little postpartum depression that all got taken care of within a few months, and they are the happiest little family of 3 right now, and hoping to get another one, one of these days soon. It was better than I could have ever imagined. I get the opportunity to meet men that were selected specifically for me, but then we had the greatest dates, and they were so different with each other also. The journey for them was kind of cathartic. They all talked about, how they ended up being, in your 60s and 50s and 60s and single. That's certainly not where you expected to be in life. None of us did. And so something happened in their life that wasn't pleasant, and they got to talk about it with each other because they had a tribe of people that were living similar lives. They were single fathers. So many of them were girl dads. It was funny, the number was astounding, but we had a great time. We had great dates. We had a lot of fun. We laughed a lot. We cried a little. The journey was more than I could have ever expected. Final outcome, like every Bachelor outcome, it's different than all the rest. They all seem to have their own original endings. I feel like mine ended exactly like it should. Very happy. I decided, almost even before I went on The Bachelor, that fantasy suites needed to be my own personal version of them, that I didn't feel comfortable having a physical relationship with more than one person. And so my fantasy suites were really about, more about emotional intimacy than physical. And I saw a value in having a fantasy suite. You really do need to have those off-camera conversations. But mine, I just took that off the table. I said I don't want a bed in the room. I want this to be known that this was really about emotional intimacy and about talking about the things that you need to know before you make an important decision about a person. So my fantasy suites are different, and they were what I needed them to be, and the men were very respectful of that. That's a really scary night, and I felt less scared on the mansion side of it than I did on the limo side of it. The limo side, I was terrified, and so I was really conscious that this was really hard for them, and I, tried to make them feel comfortable, and they were amazing. They didn't seem nervous, maybe a few of them a little bit, but they got over that nervousness really quickly. After I, got to inside and started talking to them, we had great conversations right away. So Bachelor did a really good job of finding people that I would be compatible with and that we would have things in common. And that first night was really exhausting and equally amazing night. Gerry does show up on the season, I have to tell you, so you'll have to wait and see how that goes. Honestly, I was there and watched them fall in love, so the love was genuine, it was real, it really did happen. They got married, and when they discovered it wasn't going to work for them, I have to applaud them for saying, I'm not going to stick around in that, and this is what everybody in the world wanted for them, because they had this great epic ending, but they knew it was right for them, and I think it was smart that each of them decided that they wanted to move on, and they did that. I think that was the right decision. John lived life big. Everything we did was epic. You couldn't go to a sporting event without having every junk food that they offered. But probably my best memories of my husband was when we were at the beach with our kids. We had a beach house, and we spent a lot of time there, and we just got to be so present, the both of us, because he worked really, really, really hard when we were at home. So at the beach, he was just so present. He was just like the dad of the century. He spent the day in the water with them. We would go to the amusement park. We would go to fireworks. We would do whatever. He was just the best version of a father that you could possibly have. I did. So I was really worried about missing my kids and my grandkids, particularly my grandkids, because they changed so much. And, when the few months that I was going to be gone. So my daughter, Allie, bought me one of those frames that you can send pictures to. So they just pop up of things that are happening throughout the day. And every night I would come home from being gone like the entire day, exhausted, and I would have new pictures of my grandkids. So that literally got me through the season.